Now I'm going to move on here and take a little break from the brakes. And I need to figure out how to hinge this front end. And I need to cut these lower fenders off. I think I'll cut it right in here somewhere. Give it a round shape like the headlights. Because when it flips up, that's going to go down and hit the ground. And plus I hit curbs with it right now. Every time I go over a curb, I hit these two pieces. So anyway, looks like obviously the best place would be as low as I can get here. I don't know if I want to try to weld on this front end. You can see the cross brace, that's where the frame ends. And I'm a couple inches away. I don't know, it's gonna take some thinking to figure out where I'm gonna put this hinge. I don't know how much light we're gonna have in here, if any. If you can see up in there, this freeze plug was leaking, so I pulled the starter out. It's just hanging here, and I was able to get to it, and I put a lot of JB weld in it and a washer, and it was still kind of dripping a little. I tried to get the water out of it, but there's a piece of, not styrofoam, that soft plastic foam. I cut a piece that was big enough, fit the hole, covered it with JB weld and stuck it in there. Well, it is not the prettiest thing in the world, but I feel sorry for the guy who tries to take it out. Yeah, there's a 1/4 inch of JB weld in there. Anyway, this was pretty easy to get out. There's 2 bolts go vertically. Chevys are pretty good about that. They just go up into there. And I had to take the flywheel cover off, take it loose. It's got 10mm bolts, which is kind of weird on a Corvette. Anyway, now I just stick my starter back up in there and bolt it up. I probably won't put any water in this tonight. It takes about 4 hours for it to set up, so I'll give it a chance to harden and just drive it home. It's only like a block and a half, so I shouldn't get too hot. Well, I didn't get my pivot point figured out, but I did take the starter out and fix that freeze plug. If the starter works, I'll be happy. Perfect. No dragging. I just let it warm up just a little bit. JB weld, if you get hot, it'll melt, but a little bit of heat on it speeds it up. I'm not gonna put any water or anything in it. I probably could. If I would have done this in the morning, I could have. But I'm going to leave it alone. Let that stuff harden up good. Probably won't have any leak at all. And if I do, a little stop leak will fix it. So, get all my fan wires and everything hooked up. The thermostat did work. It just wouldn't kick on when it didn't have any water in it. Wouldn't get hot enough to hit the thermostat or the thermostat switch. And I still got way too many wires in there. I just put it in there temporarily to hook it up. I ordered another radiator, so I'll continue with this. And I ordered another 6 feet of this 1/2-inch bar off eBay. I can go down and buy it from Ace Hardware, Home Depot. Take my hose out. Ain't gonna have it flat no more. Anyway, starter's in and worked. I think I might tape these fenders, cut them off. It's getting kind of late and I'm tired, but that'll get something done as far as the body goes. Well, I cut both of these bumpers off. This one I welded the bottom on. And what I didn't show you from yesterday is I got a good plate welded in here. So this back is pretty solid now. I still have to do the other lower trim piece on this fender, but at least I got that fender cut off, and it looks like it's about the same front and back. I might cut that back one there off a little. I may bring them down to the bottom of the frame, I don't know, but they look a lot better than they did just hanging down. Again, we don't have real good light right here, but the fenders look pretty decent. I need to turn them in a little bit. Of course, if I push this one in, that one goes out. So I'll have to get them sorted the way I wanted and braced before I get too carried away with it. Yeah, that one's flipped out way too much. Anyway, I'll get it symmetric sooner or later. And good thing I got my freeze plug done, so I can put water in this tomorrow and I'll be in good shape. Been fighting with this all day, and I finally got it figured out. I took this one fender off and moved it a little, but I've got a 1-inch bar run across there and a good steel plate that I made out of part of the spring perch. So that's all straight and parallel. Turned out that it looks crooked here, the hole, because it is crooked, and I just didn't take my time and measure it. I was thinking good enough. At the time I wasn't thinking of a flip up front end. If it had been a little crooked, you would never noticed it, but now I'm going to have to weld all of this solid to this 1-inch bar, so I'll have to cut that all loose. And looking down in there, it's a 1/2 inch on one side and 1/4 on the other. So I just cut this out of here, and we'll get that bottom piece symmetrical. Well, got that all welded up good, and I put a 3/8 piece and a couple 1/2 inch pieces in there. Oh, just looking at this, that's gonna make it bend under. But I got not a real big hole there, so I think I need a grill probably that big. So I'm gonna, if anything, just tack this one in. Had it right there. Looks like it just maybe a couple inches would be good enough for that. Just another brace there. Well, that was all day here. I welded in some nuts and bolts here for a hinge. I welded up my fender to the hood real good. I just cut loose the fenders and the hood. So I'm going to see if the hinge works. Hanging on something. Looks like it's hanging on a radiator somehow. Or maybe something's still hooked here. Hood's loose. Fender's loose. I'll get somebody to help me so I don't twist it. Well, there it is. It worked. I forgot that these things I welded on were actually holding it down. But a little fooling, and I got them loose. And it's right at the bottom edge of but I can see that these hinge brackets I put in here, they're bending a little. Looks like it's going to fall back down. So I got to weld that up stronger. I don't know how exactly I'm going to do it. I'll probably take it from that pipe over and under and onto the frame of the Corvette, so all of the pressure's not on this little Volkswagen tin thing. Try to get around here and get my stick before this thing falls down. There we go. And I'll just put my stick in there, and that's holding it up good. I get a plate to put on these fenders. but looks like I can reinforce and tack this quite a bit more now. And one of the questions I had was, I know the C4 Corvette, the battery is down under here, but there's no way I can get it in there. I don't see any room at all. I don't know. Anyway, now I just have to decide whether I want to make those fit the fender, whether I'll cut them off and weld them onto the hood. That might not be a bad idea. I've got one of the old ones here. This is the other side hood. I don't know if I can figure out some way of using that piece. Probably not. Well, I need to weld this up a bit more. I can get that rod welded a little better right now. That'll help. These are all pretty good. And the fender's welded pretty solid. The main thing is that this bracket here for the hinge is not very good. I didn't think it was gonna be, but I'm being real careful with it. I'll just have to weld a lot more metal in it, make that all good and solid, because it's got to be able to stand if you get a back wind. I think I'll probably just clamp those a little better and weld them in there better than what they are. This is the weakest part of the chain. The fender's welded good all the way around on both sides, so it's pretty solid. Anyway, that's what I wanted to do, was get a flip up front end done today, and I did. I'm gonna have to do a lot of probably put a couple pins in here straight up, and probably a bolt on each side. Anyway, get this welded up real quick, call it a day.